So the biggest farmer in Florida is giving a very grave and disturbing warning. All right, he is warning that people will starve. All right, this is very serious. This is the biggest farmer in Florida. All right, and this is a man he's stood on his word. He's been saying this for years. All right, he's been standing up to this for years now, saying that there's an attack on farmers. Farmers are being shut down, and this is on purpose. All right, but now it's to a point where he has to speak out, and he gave this great segment. All right, it's one thing to hear it from me, but to hear it from the biggest farmer in Florida, it's a little different. It has more weight, it has more impact. So I want you guys to listen to what he said. It'll only take just a minute. Just listen to him talk for just a minute. All right, his name is Alfie Oaks. He's the owner of Oaks Farm, and it's in Naples, Florida. It's pretty much the biggest farm in Florida, if it's not. All right, but I think it's the biggest. But listen to what he's saying. All right, this is huge, and this has lots of weight to it because this guy knows what he's talking about. So please listen for just a minute, and then we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, so we have fertilizer is up 250% from what I was paying 2 years ago. 250% increase on fertilizer. We have diesel fuel is more than 100% more. Seeds are 300% more. Plastic, the plastic mulch that we use, millions of dollars worth to cover the beds is maybe 350% more. And these aren't regular inflation. Usually the plastic would follow the oil market, so it should be maybe double, but it shouldn't be 3.5 times. But these globalists, we know how BlackRock and Vanguard and State Street are all involved. The globalists are basically in control of a lot of the boards that control the companies, the publicly traded companies in this country, and they're manipulating the input costs for all the farmers in this country to reduce the acreage. So this year is the first time in my lifetime that I've ever reduced the amount of acreage that I grow. We've always been growing and growing and growing, and this year we actually cut our farm back to about half of what we grew last year.
All right, so if you guys heard that, half of what he grew last year. He's growing half of what he grew last year. This is insane. The biggest farm in Florida is now growing half the food it needs to produce. People depend on this food. People are eating this food. This guy wouldn't be in business, and you heard him. He says he grows every single year, but this year he retracted 50% for his farm. That is massive, all right? And this is intentional. This is a shutdown of the American farmer, of our food system. Why does this keep happening? Why does every single thing? It's one thing to have fertilizer up 350%, like you said, but then there's all these other things hitting them too. That's something I didn't even think about. The plastic mulch for all the crops, all right? Tomatoes, all these crops need plastic mulch so you're not constantly weeding them. And he said that price was up 3x as well, all right? And it's very expensive when you start putting mulch on hundreds of acres, all right? It starts adding up really quickly. And if that's 3x, it's like you're mulching 3 times as much acreage. That's why he's had to cut back so much, all right? So this is huge. This is coming from Alfie Oaks, all right? Go look him up. Go to his farm. If you are near Naples, Florida, definitely make sure to go to his produce market. He said it's open right now, even with the hurricane and everything going on. He has it open. He said people can come charge their phone, charge their computer, get Wi-Fi, all that stuff. He said it's all there and people can use it for free, because the emergency right now. And he said tons of people are there charging their phones and everything. So if you live in Naples, Florida, make sure you check that out. But this goes to show, guys, this is intentional. He wouldn't be coming out and saying this just for no reason. I don't think this guy wants to like start beef or is trying to be is trying to like do the news or something, like report on the news like I'm doing. I don't think he's trying to do that. I think he's just literally has a big farm in Florida and he's been successful, and he feels like he just got punched in the face. He feels like he got hit, and he feels like he keeps getting hit over and over. How many hits can our farmers take? How many hits can our food supply take, all right? This is massive that he's coming out and saying this. And I'm sure there's farmers all over the countries that feel the same exact way. Let me know down below, are you a farmer? Have you retracted on your land, all right? Have you had to cut back? Because if all your input expenses are doubled and tripled, then it makes sense that you would have to, have and third your production, right? You don't just magically have a bigger budget all of a sudden to pay 3x for fertilizer and everything. You are running on a budget every year, and you're making enough money to grow a little bit, but you are not prepared to pay 3x for your input costs, right? So this is on purpose, all right? I was talking about yesterday how the biggest fertilizer producer in North America is currently shut down. I'll keep you updated if they open back up, but they were shut down for damages and for the hurricane, all right? Because there's lots of flooding in the area. Even if places aren't on the coast, a lot of the rivers and lakes are overflowing and flooding, and a lot of like new little lakes and creeks and stuff like that are being formed right now because there's so much water and there's nowhere for it to go, and it's flooding out a lot of areas, all right? And this is a mine, so I'm sure the mine's flooded out right now. I'm sure they could be shut down for a while. I don't know, let's hope not, but if their mines are flooded out, it could be hard to get equipment down there for a while until it all clears out, until they pump it out and it dries out. So let me know what you guys are seeing, if you're in Florida as well too, if there's any boots on the ground there. I know there's still millions of people without power, and now there's millions of people in South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia that don't have power as well, all right? This could happen at any moment, any time, all right? This is just one of these things that we are not prepared for. I was at the gas station earlier, and I was one person behind, and the guy in front of me, he pulled his card out the machine, he walked away, and then the lights flickered off for 30 seconds, and we were like, okay, great, so I'm not gonna be able to buy my stuff, right? This happened today when I was at the gas station. And the lights turned back on after like 30 seconds, but then the systems were down, and they were like, oh, we're only taking cash right now and all this stuff. So I just was getting a drink, I just put the drink back and just left, because they even said even now it's gonna take a little while to start back up, right? That was at the gas station. Thankfully I got gas before that, because I think the pumps weren't working as well, right? And I think this probably happened, I was thinking this in my head, I was like, the power probably flickered off because so many people are using their heat, right? It was really cold. I think you can see there's like some snow back here. There's some snow on some of these mountains around here, right? I don't know if you can see. There's clouds too, but there's snow on lots of the mountaintops right now, all right? There was lots of snow last night. Thankfully not where we were, but on the mountaintops. And I'm sure people are cranking their heat up. It's only 46 right now. It's still pretty cold out. It's wet, cold. So that's probably putting a strain on the electric grid, and that probably caused that little brownout or whatever it's called, that little flicker, all right? So let me know, are you guys seeing anything different? And the grid's going to be strained too differently because a lot of power grids are knocked out in Florida, all this stuff. So the grid's trying to compensate in different ways. So you could see power outages in places where there's not even a hurricane, because the grid's trying to like compensate. So let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching, staying up to date on all this news. If you guys like getting up-to-date prepper news, like on everything, I post 2-3 videos a day normally, and you guys can hit the sub and the bell down there if you want to get notified for it too. So thank you guys for watching, and you have a blessed day.